Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and 18 days ago I switched from Nvidia over to AMD. So I've been taking you guys along with this ride for the last 18 days. Well, 17 days. I made 17 videos. Yesterday was a funny one. I've been taking you guys along with this on this journey with me, so that you guys can see just how things are from switching, from Nvidia over to AMD. And I'm kind of at a point now where I feel like, to be completely 100% honest, this card is significantly more powerful than that 3080. So the experience is definitely better. Like it's like, oh, this is really cool. Like I can do a lot more things with this 7900 XT than I could with the 3080. So overall, of course, the experience is going to be good. Now, you guys have probably thought, oh man, this dude's just in honeymoon phase or whatever, but it it's more than that. Like it really is. It's more than just some like honeymoon phase and feeling good about things. And when you when you make a purchase into PC gaming, a lot of us console guys, man, we come into this with like these unrealistic expectations. We've just got like this PC should do this for us. I've read a lot of your guys' feedback, and I do understand, that where you guys are coming from, where the PC guys are coming from, being like, hey man, it's not all about this or that. We try to make our builds that are power efficient, that can give us a good bang for our buck. We usually like to try to hang on to our cards for a lot longer. And here I come into the just bouncing through like a dump truck, running things over and just doing whatever I want, and causing like a stir amongst the PC guys. And I just have to say that, trust and believe, there's a lot more of us coming in, and a lot more of us are going to be like thinking that we need to just reach for the stars and buy the top of the line. And to me, it kind of, for me at least with Nvidia, that's true. I mean, I was watching something from Tom's Hardware today about the 4060 Ti 16 gig. And I'm thinking, man, and I'm looking at this card and I'm like, 128-bit bus. Like you definitely need like 320 for 4K. Like you need that wider bus rate, so that you can feed that, so that that card can be fed to do like those textures and the streaming data and all of this stuff. And I feel like Nvidia is so out of touch with what their base and what their customers want. Like, okay, so let's think about this. Alex Battaglia did Digital Foundry, also did this other RX IAO video, and it's pretty much the same thing as, direct storage, being able to use direct storage to be able to load everything straight from, the hard drive right up into the GPU, let the GPU decompress all of that data, so it's freeing up your CPU for other things and stuff. And like this technology is in its infancy at this point right now, and that could potentially, maybe Nvidia sees farther out, and they're like, yeah, man, in like 3-4 years when developers start using this, your 4060 Ti 816 gig or 8 gig or whatever you bought, your 3070, they're going to be great. But here's the thing, man, in the here and now, these cards are performing terribly. They're performing to a point where yeah, you can, well, at least with my 3080, like, yeah, there's some games that are starting to really pound up pretty hard up against that 10 gigs of VRAM. And it is a serious thing once you start to get to a point when you buy these newer games and you want to see how they're, and you're like, when you buy these games and you're already being like, whoa man, I bought this card like a year ago, and like I'm already having to go to medium settings, or I'm already having to like get in there and play around a lot more. Now I know that like a lot of the I know that like a lot of PC guys are perfectly fine with like medium settings, or like 1080p with high refresh rate. There's so many different. See, that's the beauty of PC gaming though. There are so many different people with so many different builds that have drastically different expectations of what and of what their card should be able to do. And it's amazing, to get all the feedback that I get on this channel, and to listen to people and to read their comments. And I mean, I've gotten some pretty long comments from the PC guys, and I read them, and I wish I could sit there and like respond to everybody every morning when I wake up. But you know, it is really hard to come from console and get into PC. And especially on having a channel, people kind of expect you to know what you're talking about. They kind of expect you to, if you're going to influence them, to at least influence them in the right direction and stuff like that. And for the most part, I feel 100% okay with recommending AMD as an alternative if you want more bang for your buck when it comes to GPUs. Now, I will say that both of them, like both AMD and Nvidia, in their lower end and mid and all of that stuff, there's so much confusion going on down there about just what to expect. Like, I said this in the video the other day. There are effectively, like three mainstream resolutions right now still available: 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. 8K, I mean, is there. You've got your ultra wide monitors that have, different types of aspect ratios, stuff like that are gonna, push your resolution to different levels as well. But the three main are 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. Those are the ones that are the biggest focus right now. So if you go through a whole segment, like your 3050, your 3060, and your 3070 card, all of those are essentially, with 8 gigs of VRAM, 1080p cards. They're 1080p cards. Your 30 all the way up to your 3070 Ti. Those are all essentially 100% 1080p cards, except for the 3060. The 3060 12 gig is more of a 1440p card due to the fact that it has more VRAM. You can get a better experience with that amount of VRAM at 1440p than you're going to be able to get out of some of these newer games with an 8 gig card. So that's their stack. And then you've got AMD, which, has cards out there that are essentially pointless if basically all they can do is 1080p, and then they don't have like the in your bit bus rate, whatever. That's definitely important. I've been doing a little more research on this, and trying to figure out what the what the whole point of the bus rate, the like 128-bit bus, stuff like that. So the bigger the bus, the more data and stuff that can fit through at the same time, so you can get better quality, 4K or 1440p or something like that. So not only the size of the VRAM, but also the bus rate that the data can go through is very important. And there's a lot out there that I just throw money at it, and I expect and demand the best. And when I don't get that, it starts to make me question, like, okay, so what's the point of PC gaming, man? Like, why do they even go out of their way to sell a gimped or stripped down version of the new architecture? Like, why do they do that? I get that there's like people out there that just want a little bit, but let's face it, man. The 7900 XTX and the 4090 are the showstoppers for AMD and Nvidia. They are 100% more capable than any other card that's going to come out from either of them. And the more you go down, the more drastic the cuts are. I kind of feel like if I think there should only literally be like, the 4090, and that be the 4K card, the 3080 or whatever, and that be the 1440p card, the 3070, I mean, and all of them should come with the same amount of VRAM. Like, they should all come with the same amount of VRAM. If the 4090 has 24 gigs of VRAM, they should all just come with it. Same with the freaking AMD cards. Just put 24 gigs of VRAM in there. Stop playing fast and loose with these cards, man. Like, it's so confusing. But I guess if you've been in the PC space for a very long time, you 100% understand, that like, hey man, this is gonna do this, that's gonna do that. I just don't get it, man. And plus, it's not like we get any actual games on PC that are 100% built for PC to utilize the newest, latest graphics tech and all of that stuff and built from the ground up for it. It's not even possible, man. These things come out every freaking 2 years. Like, do we really need a new graphics card revolution every 2 years? I don't know, man. I feel like it's getting to a point where I mean, I could theoretically upgrade every 2 years, and I probably will. I mean, that's probably the life for me and for this channel. I probably will end up upgrading every 2 years. In 2 years, I'll probably build out an AM5 platform, and I'll get like whatever, the newest one on the market. Then I probably, if my experience with AMD keeps going the exact same way it is right now, like and it stays smooth and I don't run out of VRAM and I have a good time, with some of these newer games like Starfield and everything else that's going to be coming out here shortly. If my experience stays good for that time being and it's good, like I potentially would just go with AMD again. You know what I mean? Like, because if I ever go back to Nvidia, I'm probably just going back at the top end. Like I'll probably just go back at the top end. But there's some things right now that, like the 12 pin power cable that's like smoking out like all the time and stuff like that. There's some things that I just don't want to have to deal with and don't want to worry about. So I would probably at this point in my life probably just avoid that. So as it sits right now that the honeymoon phase is, definitely, past, and I'm starting to look at things more forward thinking and looking at things, from a from the lens of like, hey man, like, is this product going to be good for the channel and should I continue to promote it? Like, yeah, dude, I think AMD is awesome. I think this card is great. I think the performance is more than sufficient for what I need right now at this time. And I remember saying that about the 3080 too. And I did think that. I mean, like, when the day comes where I got to go against the grain again with AMD, like I will be there to do that. But as it sits right now, I feel I feel that this is a good opportunity for AMD to really, work extra hard on like some of that software stuff, like RDNA 3, work on some of these features that they could be bringing to RDNA 3 and really changing this platform and really changing, this generation for its gamers. Because I mean, they announced RDNA 3 when this card's launched. Like, it should be here by now. Like, I mean, we're sitting on Xbox Series X waiting 2 years for the tools to finally show up. And it's like they still haven't even shown up, man. Where's our direct ML and all this other stuff that just isn't there? But I do feel like the RDNA cards are going to be able to take advantage of, Microsoft's direct ML when that comes out and that's ready. But I would really like to see I would really like to see more excitement for AMD. You know what I mean? Like, I would. Like, this is a very competitive product that I feel I feel like I feel pretty good about this. Like, I feel good about this card. Um I feel like I'm getting what my money's worth. I mean, I've got, the Crew Motorfest downloading right now on it. I've played some on PS5, I've played some on Series X, downloading it on the PC right now. I've been checking out Remnant. I I installed a whole new kitchen sink for my wife and took out the old one, new sink, new faucet, new everything. Just redid the whole thing for her today, right after work. And like, man, I'm pretty beat down. Like, I was repairing hydraulics and doing all kinds of stuff today, man. So today was a pretty rough day, man. I did a lot of work. So and I was to the point where I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna put a video out tonight. I don't even know if I was gonna. I didn't even know if I was gonna do one. Then I'm sitting here trying to play these games and trying to get a good idea for it. I will have a Remnant video out probably tomorrow. I did buy it on Xbox and PC, but after playing it for a little while on the Xbox, I just thought, man, I'm not. yeah, there's no reason for me to have to spend $150 to play this game on these two things. It looks and plays just great on Series X, so I don't really care to buy it on the PC. Maybe after it goes down in price, maybe I will pick it up. Maybe I'll just wait till it goes down in price because I'm not gonna, dude. That's $150, man. I'd rather put that money towards some other stuff, like right now Remnant's got really good reviews. Everybody's really happy with it. It's looking like it's pretty good. I played around with it. It feels great. Yeah, this is an awesome game. So we're gonna go ahead and move on with tonight's video. Sorry this one's a little bit shorter, guys. I feel like AMD's doing a good job. I'm glad to be part of the team right now, and like, not part of the team, but like I'm glad to be in the ecosystem and checking it out and doing what I can to give some content. So I have tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday off. I will be creating more content for this card. I'll be digging deeper into it this weekend to try to figure out some more stuff for you guys, some more interesting stuff to make some content on. So, all right, my friends, thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one, and I really appreciate all the support. Thank you. We'll see you later.